I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed.
Buy our merch.
Shall lead them. Before we shot this video, we were talking about a meetup. It's going to be a village meetup in New York in December, I think it is. I don't know. You know what would be really cool if we could, that would be too early. By December, we had like 2 or 3 songs done so that we could do a show in New York.
That'd be crazy.
And then it'd be all villagers, so everybody would cheer for us. We would act, it would be
No tomatoes would show up.
Huh?
No tomatoes would show up?
No tomatoes would show up. No rotten tomatoes.
All right.
Or the other tomato. That's another girl I think you'd slap the shit out of if you ran into that bitch.
It was a double.
Oh, I know.
Well, a triple because Tiny's too. Anyway,
also fuck tomato and everybody with him. Or with her.
Well.
Okay.
I need to stop. Okay.
Which is strange.
Okay,
guys.
For My Valentine-PARASITE. This is a DJ stream.
Speaking of tomato,
yeah,
bullet for My Valentine-PARASITE.
Shout out to Mark, who is our DJ tonight. This is our final song.
You were a fucking parasite, bro. Honestly, you were. It's like you needed way too much time and attention. Holy moly. Shout out to the homie for dealing with that.
Oh, hey, I know.
It's like all my enemies have been punished.
Somebody was like, don't you hate that person? I was like, no.
All my enemies have been
I wasn't gonna, they were like, why? And I was like literally thinking, you know what? They have punishment enough.
Listen, I really at times I really want to post that, like, all you motherfuckers have suffered. All of them have. I'm talking about deaths, divorces, whole 9 yards. Shit is terrible. Fuck all of you. Okay. I'm just kidding, like you. I'm just messing with y'all, man. I want y'all to live. Go live. Just not around me. All right, Parasite, let's go. Bullet for My Valentine.
You fucking parasite! Here we go!
Yep. Is the song over?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard half of it.
Done.
Ah!
You're not supposed to fight me. There was kids on the stream.
I don't think the fella in this song likes the fella he's talking to.
I have a feeling he has some resentment issues with that man.
With that fella.
This is a very... See, this stream is interesting, right?
Yeah.
So first he starts out with killing.
Yeah.
Then he goes back... Like,
He
there's like...
bookended it with murder.
Yeah, bookended it with... What is happening?
You get a mobile phone doing murders. It's doing murder. It's a ridiculous movie. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so... It's a little too hot in here for me.
It's because of me.
It is.
Get it? It's hot in here. And then I say it's because of me, because I'm implying that I'm hot. Got it? I'm saying that I'm attractive.
You are.
Okay, Parasite. Well, it's funny because in the previous song entitled Resentment, we were talking about an individual that you have resentment issues with. And the big homie Sean, he said, emotional vampire, cut her out. and now that was almost prophetic because this song is called Parasite, which Parasite is basically an emotional vampire.
Yep. Oh, look at that. A nasty tick on the album cover.
And look, there are people who are emotional vampires, man.
Really, really are.
And they just suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
In this song, this individual waited too long to express himself. If you're at the point where you're this angry at a person...
Right.
You probably should have expressed yourself a lot earlier so it doesn't get to that point. But a lot of people are afraid of their own emotions, and a lot of people were taught that being angry is bad. Mm-hmm. And that it's sinful to be angry, and that you've got to get over it as soon as you possibly can. Mm-hmm. So when you're raised... That's why, like, I didn't make the kids apologize. I never made them say I'm sorry. Remember that whole situation? It was, tell him he has to say he's sorry. I'm like, why? He's not sorry.
Oh, so mad at you.
I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to encourage your kid to lie? I said he's not sorry. I mean, we're gonna punish him, but he's not sorry. I'm not gonna make him say he's sorry when he's not sorry. I'm gonna teach him to lie. Mm-hmm. Like people are taught not to communicate.
Yeah.
And then when they are taught to communicate, they're taught to lie in communication.
Right.
When you force a kid to say, I'm sorry, when they are not sorry, you are telling that kid to lie, and you're teaching them something about society. You could do all types of crazy shit, and your heart, it doesn't matter the state of your heart, as long as you repeat these phrases, and then people on the other side are obligated to accept you. So then you get kids going, well, I said I was sorry. What's the problem? We're raising people to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this guy, it just sounds like he just waited way too long to ventilate his anger. And now it's almost too late. Go ahead.
I won't hesitate to put an end to your pathetic little masquerade.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that honey, I'm sorry. I gotta open the door. I feel it's too hot.
What happened?
I gotta get the air in there. You guys, I'm wrong.
Okay. This is interesting.
It's just too hot.
It's our last song.
I know.
Yeah, but like Alan is saying, if you don't, it's got to build up. It looked like you had a problem with something. Though, go. What were you saying?
Well, no, I didn't necessarily have a problem. I do think that the world teaches people to be fake, and there's a lot of things. Well, I don't know about other places besides America, but the whole idea of keeping up with the Joneses or what people do on their Facebook, right, is a lot of just masquerading and false. Like, most people are not putting their worst pictures, right, on Facebook. Most people are not putting, like there are some people that will put, like, negative stuff about their spouse on Facebook. I always find that to be very peculiar. But at the same time, like...
When a woman does that with her husband, I'm like, you disrespectful ass broad. And then when a dude does it with his wife, I'm like, you sissy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. I messaged someone one time. I said, that's unmanly.
You did?
Yeah. Let's sit there and complain about your girl on Facebook. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's unmanly.
It's very unmanly. Very unmanly.
But I think that... there's just a lot of life that becomes fake like that. That it's not just in stuff like that, but like, people. Okay, the whole what happened with the homes like years ago, where people were taking mortgages they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
For what
2008.
reason?
Right. To keep up with the Joneses.
Because
and all
you
that.
know that you're basically dirt poor. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to show other people that you have a like? What do you really need? I mean, we're looking at moving and stuff, and I keep asking myself this question because there's two sides of me. You know, there's one side of me that's like, how much do you really need? Sorry. And then there's another part that's like, yeah, but I really want a pool. And then I start listing off a lot more things than just a pool. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But anyway, I kind of went off a little bit on that one, but. So I do think that there's a lot of life that kind of encourages us to be fake and false, or at least from my perspective, and it's been like that all of my life. Mm-hmm. You know.
I feel a deep aggression building up inside of me. I don't want you in my shadow. I don't need you in your life. Deep down, your words are nothing but an alibi. That is a very interesting line.
Yeah.
Because I've see here's
what is it? Them just making excuses?
That's why that line hit me, because I've been in situations where you have to do that, where you have you're talking to the person, but the entire conversation is simply you building an alibi for something else. So, like, that's the entire purpose of that conversation. So when that line hit, I was like, holy shit. Now, obviously, in the situation I was in, everybody would be like, well, of course. But it's the same principle. Like, the entire purpose of the conversation was literally a setup for something else. So there are people like that, though, when they talk. Like, there's a person, every text, there's some litigious thing in the background with every text, right? Like, every conversation, like, you have to count everything you're saying because... You know, they're setting something up for some litigious thing. You guys keep losing. Fuck all of you. And everybody with you. But, like...
your children, your children's children, children's children's
one exception. But other than that, your children and your children's children, for sure.
I'm joking.
No, seriously. And it's probably going to be that way. But, like, well...
Well, if people don't make massive changes, yeah, you're going to affect the next generation, the next one after that, and there's always going to be, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So then, you know, this guy, I hate you. I hope you choke. Like, for me, I don't think that it's healthy to hate people.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's really not.
I really don't think that and honestly with me, I'm too much of an arrogant person to hate somebody. Because to me, the minute you really, really deep down hate somebody, like, you lost. Because then there are two people in my life like I really, really hated, and I became obsessed about them until, you know, whatever.
Oh wow.
But I was completely obsessed with it. 24/7.
No way.
I was intolerant. Nobody could be around me, whatever. Like, I was like, I'm going to find this person.
No way.
Yeah. And I was intolerant. Nobody could be around me, whatever. And so like, for me, I know what that feels like. I'm like, that guy got way too much of my time, and I'm too prideful.
I know.
To be. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, that's true. But from my vantage point, it was worth it. So.
Oh, I didn't realize that you had hate in that situation.
Oh, yeah. I hated that guy a lot. Like, deeply hated him.
You're such a complex person.
I don't hate him anymore, though. But, you know, that was... It's one of those things. So, I'm not gonna... When I look, you know, in this world, you know, here... Like, there's nobody that's, like, worthy of even that kind of attention from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You're not even worth that kind of... You know what I'm saying? Like... Yeah, but this other guy, he was worth it. He absolutely was, and it was worth it. So... It is what it is. Okay. But I think, like, you know... Hating people...
Fever, but there's no remedy.
Huh?
I'm burning up like a fever, but there's no remedy. I
Yeah.
feel a deep aggression building up inside of me.
Okay, okay, so that's the thing. It's like, okay, so let's say you want to hate somebody, you want to be angry, I'm fine. Okay, where's the exit ramp? Like, that's one thing I'll say. Like, I had a definitive exit ramp with that particular person. It was very definitive. It was very, very simple. And once, whatever, it worked just like that. Like, the minute that was over, I didn't hate him anymore, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was good after that. But it is what it is. I just, me knowing how that feels, and the other thing is, I don't know if the way that I handled that situation, the way that I felt about it, and the way that I reacted to it, I don't know, like, I don't know if that's how other people feel when they hate somebody. You see what I'm saying? Like, the intensity that
that's true.
and obviously the situation was a very, very specific kind of situation, but the intensity that I felt, and like, you know, me not being able to sleep is not something that's like mind-blowing, but I just could not function until I found this guy. I could not, like, do anything.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking to myself, if it's that, if that's what people mean when they say hate, like they're that crazy and obsessive, and we're all gonna find this person and all this shit. Like, for me, I'm like, whoa, just. But then I say to myself, well, it can't be that people feel that way, because then people wouldn't be around. If everybody felt that way, then you'd have a bunch of dead people, and that's not what we're seeing. So obviously, when people say hate, I'm thinking, like, when other people say hate, they don't mean, yo, if I find this person, I'm going to end their life. They're not saying that. What they're saying is, I just really don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's a lot different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, I just find, like, for the longest point in my life, I didn't allow myself to hate or be angry or any of those things. Like, when we first met, all I would say is I was annoyed.
You were annoyed, yeah.
You know, so but at the same time, when I hit the point where I let myself be angry and I let myself, like, feel hate, I guess you could say, it was an extremely large, powerfully sort of feeling, but it was so destructive to me internally. Like, I just felt like I couldn't hold it for very long before it just felt like it was so destructive. And it can start, you hear him saying?
Wait, what did you say was destructive?
When hate is just in there like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's just messy, and it's messy with what it does inside of you and the way that you react. And I think it's like a real joy sucker as well.
Yeah, you can't be happy.
You can't.
You can't be happy.
So, I mean, sweeping stuff under the carpet is not a good way of dealing stuff either. But neither is going into full-on hate. I'm still working through, like, what does that look like practically? Like, the person that I was angry at, I said, look, I'm not ready to forgive you yet, but, you know, I'm willing to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah.
And that's the best stab that I can give at it right at this point, where it's like, I'm furious, but I'm when I said, look, I'm not as furious as I was, actually, now that I was able to say
what you had to say.
I'm not good, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, when you... Yeah, I agree. But, he's saying he's burning up in a fever and all this. Like, it's a bad place to be. But sometimes, man, people... Everybody has a limit, and that's the thing. You got to understand where your limits are with stuff, and you got to communicate where your limits are, because by this time, you're in a lot of fucking trouble, or the other person is in a lot of fucking trouble. And that's why I'm so crazy about, we've got to communicate, and that's why, I don't even like saying I let the kids express themselves, because, like, I do not want to promote pathological behaviors. And I just think a lot of what passes as parenting is just passing on pathology and craziness. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah.
And what was going on with you with the forced apology thing? Like, why were you against that? Why were you so mad at me about that?
Well, I don't like rude people. And to me,
that is
it
very
was like,
obvious.
This person acted rudely, and then to not even apologize and just be able to waltz out of here. I'm not good with that. And I don't remember it being, I'm sure your memory is much better than mine. I thought that it was actually that I was saying people should say please and thank you. That was another discussion we had, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was all.
Well, yeah, so the apology, I wasn't even looking at, like, to me, oh, well, this is interesting. Something I just figured out in this second. To me, an apology was not necessarily that you were actually sorry. It was just that you were humbling yourself because you had acted out. So it wasn't about saying, like, I am sorry for what I've done to you. It's just like, that person needs to humble themselves. They just did that. You need to humble out and apologize. Like, that's what an apology was.
So it was a punitive thing to punish the person by shaming them.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the goal of an apology, then of course you're going to be upset with my logic.
Right.
Because my logic is, if the kid doesn't want to apologize, then don't make him apologize.
I don't care if he doesn't want to apologize. Make him apologize.
Right, because your thing is
sorry,
man. My thing is an apology means something. So
I changed my mind on it now, but yeah, that's how I viewed it then. Now, I mean, it's still. I still hate anytime I have to apologize. I hate it. But
there you are. This song is obviously a 10 for me.
Yeah, 10.5.
Obviously a 10. I love the aggression, the anger, the misery, the pain, the suffering.
And the light.
It all. I loved it
Mark,
all.
what a funny song to end it on. And it was so interesting how everything kept flopping back and forth like this. But anyway, definitely a fan. Liked this.
Really, really, really good stream. Holy moly. And somebody said time flies, because we've been together for basically 4 hours, guys.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good. Vlad says that we're not entitled to our own logic. I agree. We are not entitled to our own logic. That's something Vlad and I agree on. History has been made, ladies and gentlemen. Vincent and Vlad agree on something. Excellent. Shout out to freaking DJ Mark. Holy shit, DJ Mark. What a song. What a song list. What was your favorite song on the other day?
I think I'm going to have to go with, I don't know, Falling in Reverse. I don't know. I don't know.
Which one? The song before this?
The drugs one was pretty interesting. The drugs one.
The drugs one.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe the dab. I don't really know. Which one did I give the highest score to?
I think you gave the
really
Falling
fun.
in Reverse song the highest score. The drugs one. It seemed like you really liked the drugs one.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm going with. What about you?
I'm gonna go with Scream, Aim, and Fire. I love that song.
Oh, really?
Really, really, really good song.
Okay.
Really good song. Vincent and Vlad sounds like a cop show. Yeah, Vincent and Vlad, that'd be a good cop show. We should have like a show. There was something on YouTube. I had a great idea to make the channel more interactive. But I forgot it. So it must not have been that important. But I feel like it was a game changer. You know, like I've had a couple game changer ideas for the channel. This one was a game changer. I completely forgot about it.
Oh my god, babe.
And then I was thinking to myself, I really needed like get in the fucking lab and really work on that story, and have you do voiceover for it. Because everybody loves your voiceovers.
Why are you so nice? You're so nice to me.
What do you mean? People pay you hundreds of dollars for voiceover. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm not the
but
one
like
that...
people that are married don't say nice things to each other a lot of times. Like you see people like saying mean things to each other, but you're always saying nice things.
That's nice.
Okay, we're gonna end this one. And is Apple still here?
No, Apple's not here. He's going to get some milk for his baby. Having said that, you wonderful people, I'm out of here. Love your neighbor. Take care of each other. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark. Fucking good show, bro. Good show, Marky Mark.